do something that makes somebody remember me.
I just remember looking down and then looking back at where I was about to jump and go, oh my God, this really might be the end of my career. I might not get up from this.
WrestleMania! You gotta be kidding me! For thrill seeker! Squad! Oh my God! 35 feet! Jeff Hardy wins! Jeff Hardy's realized the dream of a lifetime!
I was abusing pain medication.
What the hell is straight edge mean again? First ever straight edge world heavyweight champion.
2 weeks later, after I left WWE on top of the world, I was ordering pills illegally in the mail. SWAT team comes to my house, me and my wife and our little dog. I was busted.
You know, he was slowly deteriorating as the day went by, and like Eric said, you didn't know how bad it was until you got into the ring.
Eric Bischoff told him to end me because I was a zombie. And it was obvious when you watched the tape.
Pro wrestler Jeff Hardy is now facing DUI charges.
This marks the third DUI for Jeff Hardy in 4 years.
And to be back in that zone now, approaching 3 years of sobriety, man, I mean, it's just super exciting to keep doing exactly what I've been doing and, you know, prove people wrong in the process.
So when people say they with it, it's like they with me, and that feels cool.
Jeff Hardy was born August 31st, 1977 in Cameron, North Carolina. When he was just 9 years old, Jeff's mother died of brain cancer. There weren't many ways to process that kind of pain, especially for a kid. So for Jeff, the answer became wrestling. But in rural North Carolina, there were no wrestling schools, no indie scene, nothing. So Jeff and his brother Matt built their own. They called it Omega. It wasn't top tier wrestling, not even close. But for Matt and Jeff, Omega was everything. It gave them the one thing they needed most, a place to learn, to experiment, to fail, and get back up. It was the perfect proving ground, and it shaped the high-flying, risk-taking style that would make Jeff Hardy a superstar.
Off the ropes now. Hard blast, 2 and 3, ladies and gentlemen.
In those early Omega shows, Jeff debuted as the Wolverine. He wore face paint and, much like the comic book anti-hero, leaned into his wild energy, but it didn't stick. Soon, Jeff created something more original and much darker.
Hi, Omega followers. It is I, Will-O-the-Wisp. Today, in modern time, will lead to tomorrow, which eventually creates eternity. Omega always has an eternal position in my black heart.
Omega, not welcome to Omega. Welcome to Will-O-the-Wisp. Get with it. Will-O-the-Wisp, look at them. Agility. Will-O-Rock. Venom comes under. Balance on those left ropes. Bends it. Oh! Whisper in the wind to the outside.
In 1993, WWE came calling. Jeff was only 16 years old, but that didn't stop him. He lied about his age just to get through the door. At just 17, he debuted on WWE TV against Razor Ramon under the name Keith Davis. From 1994 to 1997, Jeff paid his dues the hard way, taking losses, getting tossed around, doing whatever was asked, but he never stopped. Match by match, he earned respect. After years of grinding in dark matches and working as jobbers, 1998 marked the Hardy Boys' real entry into the WWF tag scene.
The Hardy Boys. Oh, nice double drop kick. Jeff going airborne. Oh my God. He missed. Oh my, his back it's got to be broken. And Jeff and Matt up top. And two and yeah, impressive.
By mid-1999, they were gaining momentum and getting noticed. Their feud with the Acolytes was their first real test. Hard-hitting, bruising matches that forced Matt and Jeff to prove they could survive in the big leagues. It wasn't pretty, but it earned them respect, and before long, they were chasing gold.
Bradshaw just caught Matt Hardy and mid now, but Jeff came out of nowhere. And Bradshaw, and there's a tornado DDT. The leg is hooked. Yes, we've got new tag champions. The Hardys have upset the Acolytes.
The Hardy Boys beat the Acolytes to win their first tag titles, but even with gold around their waists, they weren't seen as stars yet. Then came the moment that changed everything. They crossed paths with Edge and Christian, another rising tag team trying to make a name for themselves.
It was the very first ladder match that kind of put us all on the map, so to speak. We grabbed lightning in a bottle that night, and it changed everything for all of us.
You can't do this, but oh! The ladder with the go! That part of your screen! My God! Senton bomb! Oh my God! Good Lord! Under the ladder! Jeff Hardy! He got it!
No Mercy 1999 changed everything. That ladder match made Jeff Hardy a star. It wasn't just the win, it was how far he was willing to go. Jumping off ladders, crashing through tables with no fear. After that match, the crowd wanted more, and Jeff gave it to them. Every single night. Over the next few months, the rivalry of Edge and Christian kept building. Match after match, the stakes got higher. Then the Dudley Boys entered the picture and everything exploded. 3 young teams, all hungry, all willing to steal the show, and at WrestleMania 2000, they got their chance in a triple threat tag team ladder match. Jeff soared that night, literally. Whether he won or not, didn't matter. He was walking out an icon.
Bubba's on the laying on the ladder. Oh! Heading up, look at Christian. Look at it! Oh, Christian the spirit. What the? Oh! He won't.
Post WrestleMania, the 3 teams kept raising the bar, trading wins, crashing through tables, and stealing every show they were on. Each team had something to prove, and each match got more dangerous. So by the time SummerSlam rolled around, there was only one way to settle it. As the rivalry continued, they clashed in every way possible. Triple threats, brawls. Each match was more violent, more creative, and more dangerous than the last. They weren't just stealing shows anymore, they were the show. By the time WrestleMania 17 rolled around, there was only one way to settle it. Run it back one last time.
The Hardys.
After WrestleMania 2000, things started to shift. Jeff wasn't just a tag guy anymore, he was becoming too popular, so WWE started pushing him on his own. The Intercontinental Championship became Jeff's next target. It wasn't just any title, it was a stepping stone for future main eventers. He earned a shot against Triple H, one of the most dominant and ruthless competitors in the company.
Needs to hit it. Where's the rep? It's not Hardy. The hell's Matt doing here?
Jeff's reign as Intercontinental Champion was just the beginning. He demanded a new challenge, coming in the form of the Light Heavyweight Championship. Chasing that title, Jeff aimed to prove he could dominate any division he stepped into.
That one. Jeff Hardy is limping a little bit. Jeff Hardy getting the response from the crowd. The swat. Do we have a new champion? We do. Jake gets back for Jeff Hardy.
Holding the Light Heavyweight Championship proved Jeff's technical skill and resilience in the ring, but the hardcore division, that's where he truly thrived. It was a battleground tailor-made for Jeff's fearless, high-risk style, letting him unleash his wild side with every weapon imaginable.
Struck by Mike Awesome. Orchestrated by Trash Container. Look out! Hardy! Tremendous balance by this charismatic young superstar. Win this time. Look at Jeff Hardy out now! Into the edge! Concerto perfectly legal! Jeff Hardy! Smooth pump! Could we have a new hardcore champion yet?
Jeff Hardy's hardcore title win over Mike Awesome was a statement. He wasn't just a tag team daredevil anymore. This division was made for chaos, and Jeff owned it. But the spotlight demanded more, setting the stage for his breakout rivalry with Rob Van Dam.
Jeff Hardy's trying to take out Rob. Rob, be careful! And Jeff Hardy took Rob. Stop him now! Jeff Hardy off the line! That entire table imploded. Teams to get to Jeff Hardy. Hardy, the springboard. Oh my God! All the way across the ring! And so is Jeff. Jeff looking for the power. And Van Dam, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, it's not a joke! That is so much of his title. Wait a minute. All right. And he does.
After his heated rivalry with Rob Van Dam, Jeff Hardy's next challenge was The Undertaker. This feud pushed Jeff in a new direction, forcing him to prove himself against one of WWE's most intimidating legends.
What did that match do for you? What did you learn?
Oh my God, I think I realized in that moment I can be a big star if I really want to, commit to this thing.
It put Jeff Hardy on the map. It's not who goes over, it's who gets over. Jeff Hardy lost, but he got over in a big way against Taker.
After the match with The Undertaker, Jeff seemed destined to be WWE's next megastar, but behind the scenes, problems were brewing. His personal struggles were starting to catch up with him, threatening everything he'd ever worked for.
Jeff did have a drug problem. All of a sudden, we had a different human being on our hands. If he did show up, he would go and hide, and you couldn't find him all day long, or he'd show up and then he'd leave again. So it was difficult times dealing with Jeff Hardy, but Jeff didn't want to go to rehab.
After a few in rehab, Jeff's behavior grew more erratic, and he began to no-show events, leaving WWE with no choice. In 2003, they released him, ending his first run with the company. In 2004, TNA came calling, a new home, a fresh start. It was his chance to prove he still had what it takes. TNA didn't ease Jeff in. Right out the gate, he was thrust into the spotlight, facing AJ Styles, Chris Sabin, and other standouts. These weren't just matches, they were fast-paced, high-risk showcases, and Jeff fit right in. TNA saw star power. They banked on Jeff Hardy from day one, putting him in main events, title matches, and marquee spots. Whilst the crowd loved him and his style fit the X division perfectly, behind the scenes, Jeff was still battling addiction. It all came to a head in 2005, when he no-showed the Hard Justice pay-per-view entirely, a major show where he was scheduled to appear, leading to his first TNA suspension of many. He eventually returned later that year and was thrown right back into the chaos, this time in a feud with Rhino, one of the company's most physical stars. Their rivalry was brutal, wild, and unpredictable, with it all leading up to one of TNA's most brutal matches in history, the Monsters Ball at Bound for Glory. After the Monsters Ball, Jeff's no-show started again. TNA's trust in him began to fade fast. They gave him one last chance, a spot on the pre-show of the Turning Point pay-per-view, but Jeff didn't show up. He disappeared from TV for months after that, leaving fans and management in the dark, before being quietly released by the promotion in June 2006.
If there's any other challengers out there, then by all means step up and celebrate them. What the hell are you doing here, Jeff Hardy?
Oh! Jeff Hardy going up! There may have been a swan-tom bomb!
Jeff was out to prove he still belonged at the top, and Edge was the perfect target. But this comeback wasn't just about solo glory. Soon, Matt Hardy returned to the fold, and just like that, Team Extreme were looking to take over the tag team division once again. Reunited and recharged, they stepped back into the spotlight at Survivor Series 2006, teaming up like they never left.
There's Brother Matt and the double team from Team Extreme. And look at this.
Look out here!
Oh, the Hardys! Matt Hardy.
Twist the bank!
Twist the bank! And swan-tom bomb! Wait for Matt Hardy! Matt Hardy elite!
Well, things are certainly not going Edge and Orton's way. No!
The Hardy Boys were officially back, but not for long. By WrestleMania 23, they found themselves chasing the same prize, Money in the Bank, one ladder, one shot, and this time they weren't climbing it together.
Gonna go for the kendo, and he did, and nobody holds.
Oh, Jeff Hardy!
And there's the swanton.
Hardy's
one for you, Randy Orton.
The Hardys are
right there. Well, Jeff's gonna get it.
Jeff Case.
Jeff's gonna get it, all right.
Finley.
Yeah. Oh!
He said he was gonna steal WrestleMania.
You gotta be kidding me! Some serious spinal damage there. Might want to tend to Jeff Hardy also. I mean, wait a minute. Oh, Mr. 10
With the insane WrestleMania schedule, all the ladder matches, dives, and high impact moments were starting to add up. Jeff's body was breaking down and he was given some much needed time off. He was originally set for a huge return, being booked to win the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 24, but just weeks before the show, he failed a drug test and was pulled from the card. That break gave WWE time to find the right story for his comeback. Not just a feud, not just a match, a moment, the kind that could turn Jeff Hardy from cult favorite into world champion.
The clothesline, 18 timer for the game. Here we go. Look at all. Hardy's gonna get it. Swanton, 3. Oh, and that's it. Oh, good God. Wait. Pedigree. Hardy. Watch out. Oh, my God. God almighty. Oh, comes up your way. Oh, and that did it. The Hardy. My God. Swanton. Hardy wins. Jeff Hardy wins from daredevil to champion.
Jeff had his childhood dream realized by capturing the WWE Championship, but his ongoing drug issues made him too risky to be the company's top face. Just 3 days later, he lost the title back to Edge, signaling how his personal struggles were still holding him back. The rivalry continued, leading to a brutal showdown at Extreme Rules, this time for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Your physical well-being on the line. Adrenaline on a wheel. Hardy. Oh, God. Edge. Got a spear. Oh, my God. Hit go. Hardy's climbing. Hardy party.
Jeff held the World Heavyweight title for just 10 minutes before CM Punk took it from him. That loss kicked off a fierce rivalry, which all culminated in a loser leaves WWE match.
We're escaping the cage in any manner with both feet. Oh, and Punk. Oh, the unique enigma. No! Punk is the winner.
First of all, I'm sorry if I've let anybody down. This is not goodbye forever. This is only goodbye for now.
Without WWE as his vice for that adrenaline high, Jeff struggled to find the same rush elsewhere. Wrestling had been his escape, his fix. And with that gone, his addiction issues spiraled out of control.
I was ordering pills illegally in the mail, got busted. SWAT team comes to my house, me and my wife and our little dog. I was busted. I got busted for getting pills illegal. I thought my life was over.
But even behind bars, Jeff's struggles didn't end. Substance issues followed him, and when he finally returned to wrestling, it wasn't a smooth comeback. His second run in TNA was plagued by no-shows, erratic behavior, and a constant fight to get his life back on track. TNA took a chance. Despite everything, they put the World Heavyweight Championship on Jeff Hardy. They believed in his star power, hoping it would pay off, but that trust didn't last long. Just 2 weeks later, he dropped the belt to Sting on an episode of Impact. A rematch was scheduled for the Victory Road pay-per-view, only something wasn't right. As Jeff made his entrance that night, it was obvious. He wasn't okay.
Right now, wow, Sting off the back. Got him. Great. Wow. Shocker.
It was pretty apparent when Jeff made his way out to the ring that he was a wreck. We didn't really realize how badly wrecked he was until he got to the ring.
He was slowly deteriorating as the day went by. It was not good. Not good for wrestling, not good for the fans, not good for Jeff, not good for anybody.
The thing with Sting, my hero, that, oh my God, the embarrassment from that. Eric Bischoff told him to pin me because I was a zombie. And it was obvious when you watched the tape. 2011 was, all that was stressful leading up to that conviction. So I needed to go home for a while.
That I've been here for 9 years, literally killing myself for this company. And one night, Jeff Hardy gets in the ring on a pay-per-view and almost destroys the whole thing. So when people talk negative about Impact Wrestling, it's because of you. I'm not the guy out there. I'm not doing drugs. I'm not drinking. I'm not doing anything. I'm just killing myself for the company, just trying to make it something that we can all appreciate and love.
I can't change what happened at Victory Road, but I can admit that at Victory Road, I had hit rock bottom.
TNA pulled him from the schedule. He needed to get clean. He came back with a deadly focus. No more chaos, just the work. TNA wouldn't hand him a title shot this time round. He had to earn it by proving his reliability. Week by week, match by match, Jeff rebuilt what he'd lost. By Bound for Glory 2012, he was back where he belonged. Jeff beat Aries at Bound for Glory 2012 and held the TNA World title again. A full circle moment. He'd fallen hard, but now he was on top, clean and focused. Over the next few years, Jeff stayed consistent. Insane bumps, title matches, big moments. By 2015, the Hardy Boys were fully back, chasing tag gold and bringing a spark back to TNA's tag scene.
Out EC3 and back and forth the Hardys go with that. And Matt Hardy swinging. The ladder's been taken out. Jeff Hardy, our tag team champions.
But just as momentum was building, disaster struck. Jeff broke his leg in a motocross accident, being sidelined indefinitely. The Hardy Boys were forced to vacate their tag titles, and their run came to a sudden halt. But while Jeff was recovering, TNA struck unexpected gold. Matt Hardy returned with a twisted new broken Matt persona, and what followed was something WWE had never quite pulled off. A compelling, creative, and surreal feud between the brothers, building towards their most emotional and unhinged battle yet, the Ultimate Deletion. A bizarre, cinematic showdown filmed at the Hardy compound in Cameron, North Carolina. After losing the Ultimate Deletion, Jeff was forced to sign over the Hardy name, and with it, his identity. He became Brother Nero, a shadow of his former self, serving under Matt's bizarre broken persona. Together, the brothers kept reinventing themselves, embracing their new roles, and staying red hot in TNA's tag scene. But by early 2017, their contracts expired, leaving TNA behind once more.
This is insane! Jeff Hardy with a little poetry! And look at Jeff! Top of a ladder! No way! Oh, yes, way! Oh my God! The thrill seeker! Swan! Todd! Bomb! The Hardy Boys are 7-time champions!
After hitting the high of his WrestleMania title win, Jeff's demons quietly crept back in. The pressure and past struggles began to weigh on him, and in 2018, it all came to a head with a DUI arrest. In 2021, during a house show, Jeff was acting strange. He was visibly intoxicated and struggling to keep up. Mid-match, he suddenly tagged himself out and disappeared through the crowd, leaving his partners and fans stunned. Backstage, WWE urged him to enter rehab, but Jeff refused. With no other options, they released him from his contract. Unfortunately for Jeff, his struggles didn't end there. In 2023, he faced his third DUI arrest in just 10 years, an automatic felony under the law. He was convicted and sentenced to 38 days in jail and required to complete a court-mandated rehab program. Today, Jeff Hardy is back in the ring, wrestling on and off, mostly in TNA and other independent circuits. Though the road remains tough, he continues to fight his battles with addiction, showing fans and critics alike that his story is far from over.